Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you today. I hope that you are doing well, and I hope that you and your loved ones are taking care of the best that you can. I hope you are having a fantastic week, and I hope that you get a little bit of time today to take just for yourself, just to do something that you love, not something that you have to do for somebody else, not something that you're required to do, not something for work, not something to caretake someone else, not something required. I hope that you take some time that is just to chill, just to take some time for you and only you and do something you love, something that's going to bring you some joy. Even if it's something basic, even if it's something simple. I hope you grab yourself a hot cup of coffee, a hot tea. Maybe you want a cold coffee. Maybe you love that iced coffee. I'm all about that iced coffee, but I also like hot coffee too. Just depends on the day or the moment of the day. I hope that you get yourself something cozy to drink. I hope you pull up a cozy seat and you hang out with me for a little bit. But if you can't right now, that is totally fine. I just want you to make sure you remember to take that time for yourself. Doesn't have to be now, but it has to happen, okay? It's required. I'm requiring it of you, and it is required in general. Don't put yourself last. Don't view yourself as an optional person to take care of, because you're not. You need to be number one on that list of people to take care of. Can't pour from an empty cup. You can't keep going when you're running on E, and you deserve it. It's not just about keeping the burners running. It's not just about keeping the lights on in the house. You deserve to be comfy, cozy, happy. You deserve to take that time and do something you love. This is your life. Okay? So I hope that you will take that time today, and I hope that you are having a great day so far. So I am working on a penguin. You guys may remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I was not counting while I was talking. You guys may remember this little guy that I made. I am making one out of chenille yarn this time. So in my Joann's haul, I told you guys I finally got some of this Parfait chunky pom-pom yarn. Well, it was burning a hole in my stash. Didn't even make it to the stash, let's be honest. I have been so stoked ever since I saw this when they announced it. Because Parfait Chunky is my favorite chenille yarn. It's so squishy and soft. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of chenille yarns that are really similar to Parfait Chunky, but it's just kind of my go-to. It has a lot of colors, it's squishy soft, it has good quality. So when I saw that they were doing this, okay. I have my notes written down from when I made the first penguin, so I'm kind of pattern testing my own pattern on plushy yarn now because I haven't made it in plushy yarn. But when I saw that they were making this with the pom-poms on it, oh, you know I was excited. 3, 4, 5, 6. I love yarns with the little pops of color in them, whatever you want to call it. You know, you want to call it pom-poms, you want to call it tweed, you want to call it, what did I used to call it? Like sprinkles, kind of. I didn't know what it was called, so I would just call it sprinkles, like sprinkles of other colors. Whatever you want to call it, though, I love the little flecks. That's another thing I used to call it. I absolutely love that effect on yarn in general, and I have not had any plushy yarn that has that effect. Bernat Blanket Yarn actually did a blanket yarn a while back that was only at Michael's, and it was limited time, and it was a blanket yarn with the flecks in it like this, and it was these super bright kind of colors with it. I was so sad because it was a very limited time thing. And the announcement for it was like kind of botched, where it didn't hit the shelves at the same time. And so you couldn't, it was kind of a whole mess. Like it was announced it was going to be out, but then it was like running behind. And so you couldn't get it online, and I don't have a Michael's anywhere near me. So I ended up just missing out on getting that in general. And I was so sad because I was like, that is literally screaming my name. Like, that is the, if there was a blanket yarn that was meant for me to have, that was the blanket yarn. You know what I'm talking about? You guys ever have that moment when you see a yarn and you're like, I was meant to have that yarn? Well, that was me with that yarn, and that was me with this yarn. So I'm just so stoked. But this yarn is basically just their Parfait chunky chenille yarn, but they take a strand and wrap around it with this pom-pom yarn. So it's like a thin string with little like fluff balls on it. And I'll attach a picture of what this looks like. When I first started the skein, you could see it better. Like when I first found the center pole, you can really see how it's like just wrapped around there because it's wrapped pretty tightly as you go, which is nice. You know, you want it to be connected nicely so that you're not fighting with the strands wanting to separate. But I would say it's attached pretty well. It's wrapped around there pretty nicely. But, you know, like I said, before I started using the color, you could see how it was two separate strands more. So I did take a picture of that for you guys in case you were curious about what to expect with this yarn. But it comes in so many beautiful colors. It comes in really bright, vivid colors. And then they all have this rainbow fleck going on, which is so stunning. So yeah, this is my first time using it, and I was like, you know, if I like it, which let's be honest, I knew I was going to like it. I definitely plan on getting more. I would love to get it in like every color because I can just see myself forever using this when I use plushy yarn because I just love to add that little extra bit of color, you know, like why would I just use a plain solid color when I could use a solid color with little flecks of like rainbow goodness in it, you know? That's what I'm saying. So there's what it looks like. Yes. It's kind of like your paint box has spilled and it's leaving little flecks of color in its wake. And I have made the teeny tiny little arms for the penguin. And I used the black for the skin tone. And then the blue is this is going to be the sweater color. I don't have the flecked yarn in white yet. And so it's going to be like this, you know, this is the sweater color I'm doing. And then the black is going to be the skin tone. I'll have to just use a solid white or do something a little bit different for this part. I'm not sure yet. I have a couple ideas of how I want to do that, but I'm going to cross that bridge when I get to it. And I haven't bought more of these little safety duckbills yet. I want to get some of these. They are on Amazon, so I just need to actually get them. But I haven't, you know, like budgeted it out yet and bought some, so I haven't gotten them yet. I'm not really sure how. I think they would still work with the plushy yarn. And they do come in different sizes. So I'm like, get like a variety pack because they have like different, like you can get them all in one size or you can get like a variety pack of sizes, kind of like you do with safety eyes. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm having some coffee in my Enjoy the Little Things mug. This is the cutest mug. I got this at Joann's in the springtime this year. Love it, love it, love it. It says enjoy the little things, and then this side has some like sea life, little sea anemones and stuff. Very cute. And I'm actually having some pumpkin spice creamer. Having some pumpkin spice coffee with some pumpkin spice creamer in it. Because it was on sale for the end of the season. And so I was like, yes, getting that. I have a little pumpkin spice in my life. I've been drinking the gingerbread creamer. Coffee Mate has a gingerbread creamer right now, and it specifically said on the bottle, enjoy or try with cold coffee, with like iced coffee. And I was like, I've never seen them specify to try it with iced coffee before. So that really piqued my interest. I do drink a lot of iced coffee, like on a regular basis. Like my go-to coffee is an iced coffee, you know, just like throughout the day, sipping on an iced coffee type of thing. So I got that and it's fantastic. It kind of reminds me of the sugar cookie creamer. The one that has the Grinch on it. I haven't gotten any of it this year, but I really liked that one last year and I got it quite a bit. And it reminds me of that. It's got kind of a more simple flavor to it, just kind of like a creamy, I don't want to say vanilla flavor, but like, you know, kind of like a sugar cookie sort of flavor. And then, but it's a gingerbread flavor, so it's got a little bit of that spice to it. But I am a big sucker for the spice. You know, you get me that spice, cinnamon spice, you know, nutmeg, ginger, any of those like warming spices, and I am here for it. I love that stuff. But that is what I have been sipping on. And then this is just a Chobani pumpkin spice creamer that I'm drinking right now. And it's pretty good. I'm for the most part, kind of out of my pumpkin spice era for the year and ready for my winter flavors, you know. But I figured I can't turn down some clearance when it is one of my favorite flavors. So that is what I am up to, working on this penguin, seeing how it works up in fluffy yarn, and then also trying out the pom-pom yarn. And I thought I would pop on here and say hello to you guys. So here is how this is working up. Absolutely love it. Oh, I need it. I need it in every color. I'm going to make all of the things in all of the colors of this. Is that not gorgeous, you guys? You guys, imagine little dinosaurs in this. I'm just imagining if I were to like finish this off into like a triceratops, you know, instead of like making it into a penguin. Imagine if this went and then it was like a little triceratops. This would be the cutest triceratops. Now I kind of want a triceratops. But that is what I am doing today. Here are my beautiful, awesome yarns. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments what you are up to today. And if you're drinking anything special, let me know what it is. I am real quick going to take stock of my counts because I've been talking and I am not good at multitasking. 23. And my hook fell out. Get back in there. Okay. I'm off by 1, but that's the nice thing about plushie yarn specifically is I could fudge it. I can fudge it. But yeah, that's what I am up to today, guys. I was still thinking about doing a tutorial for this, but I don't know. I might just do a written pattern for it. Tutorials are such a pain in the booty. Some of my past tutorials have been getting some views lately, people making them. And people leave the weirdest comments on tutorials. Like, I don't know why tutorials seem to attract people that have a lot of opinions about how you should do a tutorial. And I'm not gonna lie, I've also seen a lot of posts in like groups lately where people are like, I don't know how people watch YouTube tutorials. Like, they annoy me so much. Just shut up and show me the pattern. Like, why do you talk so much? Like, I just find them really annoying and stuff. And then that combined with the comments I've been getting on my videos, has just been a little bit off-putting to me, to be completely honest. It makes me a little, I don't know, a little bit not wanting to do tutorials, I guess. Not in like a conscious way. Like, I didn't see those comments or those opinions online and be like, oh, well, I'm not making tutorials now. But like, I keep sitting down to make this tutorial for this penguin. Originally, actually, I sat down to make the tutorial for this penguin, and then I kept starting it over, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna make it out of this plushie yarn, because the plushie yarn was sitting on my desk also, and I was gonna do the tutorial in worsted weight yarn. And so I just started working on this, and I was like, I'll do a little crochet in chat instead. Uh, so maybe I have some anxiety, I guess, some like little inner thoughts that I just kept feeling like it wasn't good enough when I was trying to make the tutorial, and I didn't want to do it, you know? When it's not fun, when I'm not feeling it, it really becomes a negative thing. And I don't like to make my crochet into that. I don't like to make the channel into that. I like it to be a positive, you know, fun thing, and have that like freedom of expression, and get creative with you guys and share ideas with you guys. And I don't know, I love our little community here, and I want it to be a positive place, you know, positive experience for me, and a positive experience for you guys. I almost just feel like it's two totally different types of people. And like some people just aren't drawn to tutorials. Like they're the people that would be better off reading a pattern, but they're using the tutorial because they don't want to pay for a pattern, which is totally fine. I do that. You know, when I just want a free pattern. And also I like tutorials. I really appreciate tutorials. I wouldn't know how to crochet. I would have never learned how to crochet if it wasn't for the amazing people making tutorials here on YouTube. Like I literally taught myself to crochet because they taught me to crochet. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes it's people that don't want to watch tutorials that are like, can you just shut up and show me the pattern? And I'm like, well, can you just go somewhere else and get a pattern and not be mean to people that are, you know, taking the time to try to teach people how to make stuff? I don't know, like when I make a tutorial, this is the thing that I've been seeing a lot is they take too much time explaining the very basics of crochet is one of the things that I kept seeing. Like, this is an advanced enough pattern that the person should know how to crochet, and you shouldn't be explaining the basics of crochet. I totally get that. But what I always have in mind, and I sometimes think this when I'm starting a crochet pattern or a crochet tutorial, is like the person making this is probably going to have an inkling of what they're doing if they're making something like of this level. But at the same time, what if they don't? And that's always what pops in my head is that, like, what if they don't? What if they need extra help? That's why they're here on my channel watching a tutorial. They want to make this cool thing. And yeah, they could go get a pattern for it if they had, like, you know, more advanced skill level. They've been crocheting longer. Whatever the reason is that they need the extra help. But they don't because they need the extra help. Like, that's why they're here looking at this tutorial and not just off following a pattern somewhere. And so that always pops in my head, and I'm like, well, it doesn't hurt anybody for me to take the extra time to explain how to do things. Now, the one thing I will say is it makes my tutorials longer, and it's one of the reasons why when I do gnome crochet alongs, I do crochet alongs and not tutorials, because if I was to make my gnome tutorials into just a single video, they would either be an exorbitantly long video, because if I put together all of like my crochet alongs into one video, you know, you'd be sitting there for 6 hours. Or I would have to simplify it and not go over a lot of things and assume that you have the knowledge needed to do it already. And I hate to do that because I'm like, what if you don't? What if you need that help? I don't know. It's just, I want everybody to be able to make it. I feel like that's kind of the point of the video. You know what I mean? Is to be able to like break it down into a digestible format for most people. I like, obviously not every tutorial is going to work for your learning method. Not every person is going to teach in a way that works for you. And I completely get that. Like, I'm not saying that I'm just like the person that can break it down for everybody, but I want to feel like I'm trying to break it down for everybody. You know what I mean? And I always say in my videos, don't forget that you can adjust the playback speed. I do that when I watch tutorials. I have a tendency a lot of times to watch a tutorial that breaks things down to a level I don't need it broken down to. I'm not a complete new like crocheter, so when I watch a tutorial, I don't need it played at normal speed. I'll go and I'll change it to 2x speed and just watch it through to get the gist of what I need to do. And I welcome anyone to do that when they watch my tutorials. You can also slow it down if you need it slowed down even more. And I always recommend that, you know, if somebody is like really watching a particular skill that I'm showing that they've never done before or something. It's one of the beauties of YouTube is that you can adjust the playback speed. But also one of the beauties of YouTube is that there is usually videos for a lot of things. So if my style doesn't work for you, I would expect that you would just go on to a different video. I mean, that's what I do. If I'm looking at tutorials, a lot of times I'll click on like maybe 3 or 4 tutorials before I find the one that just like is like this speaks to me. And it's not that the other ones aren't good tutorials. It's not that I couldn't learn from them, but I just look for the one that really fits me in that moment of what I'm looking for. And I expect everyone to do that when they're looking at tutorials. You know what I mean? And like I said, sometimes you don't feel like following a tutorial. Sometimes you just want a pattern, and that's fine. But don't take that out on the people that are making tutorials, you know? Don't come in there and be like, well, can you just shut up and show us the pattern? And then also just don't go ranting on Facebook and stuff. I don't know. I've just been seeing that a lot lately. And like, I disagree with it. I really do. But it also, I guess, does get to me because, you know, I've been realizing it kind of got to me. And it just kind of makes me not want to take the time, because it does take a lot of time to work on those. So anyways, guys, that is my little rant for the day, and also letting you guys know what I'm up to. Little crochet and chat moment. Working on this penguin, so you guys can keep an eye out for a squishy little penguin to be showing up here on the channel soon, showing you guys what I end up making up. Like I said, I don't know what I want to do for the white yet. I'm thinking about doing, make sure my little coffee mug warmer turns on when I push down on it and put the mug on it. I'm thinking about doing, so I have white like velvet yarn or plushy yarn, like chenille yarns. So I could do that and just do basic white, or I keep looking over at this while I'm talking, or I could do worsted weight yarn, because I do have a worsted weight yarn that has the rainbow flecks in it. It's just acrylic. So I could double strand it, but then it would be like velvet yarn or chenille yarn, you know, for the whole thing. Well, these are both specifically chenille yarn. And then the white part would be made of just regular acrylic, and I don't know if I want to do that. But it is like a soft acrylic. It's I love this yarn, so it's a pretty soft one. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. But I don't have the white and the pom-pom yarn yet, so I'm not going to do pom-pom yarn. We'll have to wait and see. And I'm planning on, I just got like a little bit of orange yarn out. I actually separated this out, like I said, because I was going to do the tutorial. And I think I do have orange chenille yarn too, so I might use orange chenille yarn. But I'm just going to do that for the beak, and that'll be a good thing to test run anyways, because obviously a lot of people doing a tutorial, wouldn't have safety beaks. They're definitely not a common thing. I didn't even know about it till recently. So having the instructions in there on how to make a beak, I already know how I'll do it. It'll be really simple. But yeah, that's what I'm up to today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.